What is up, guys? Marcellus Williams, aka TheSwolefessor, here to educate you on health, fitness, social well-being. Today, guys, it's part 3 of answering all your questions.
I am the greatest.
Someone with power! Someone with power! Someone with dash! Someone with power!
Alright, so as you guys can see, it's just me today. Joseph couldn't make it. I personally don't like doing the Q&As this way. It's a lot more fun and natural for me to have someone read the questions to me. But it's all good. Like the shirt says, get better today. Gonna put in the work. Shout out to my boy Russell Orhe. Let's get right into it. Alright, so Aesthetics for Life asks, what's the difference between a high bar and a low bar squat? What's more beneficial? Alright, so the difference between a high bar and low bar squat is high bar is the traditional way that you see a lot of people squatting where the bar's resting right on your traps. Low bar, the bar's going to be lower and it's going to be more, you're going to have it like against your rear delts. And the difference is biomechanically speaking, because with low bar, the weight is more loaded on your posterior chain. Most people are able to move more weight. Low bar, obviously, whichever way you're spending more time working on, that's what you can get better at. So as far as what's more beneficial, depends what you're doing. For a lot of power lifters, a lot of us low bar just because our goal is to move the most weight possible, and low bar allows us to do that. But there's some power lifters out there who still high bar. But then again, with Olympic weightlifters, a lot of them, they high bar squat just because that has more carryover to their Olympic lifts, like the clean and jerk, the snatch, etc. So it pretty much just depends on what your goals are. I'll probably do a video over this in the future as far as what should determine if you low bar or high bar. And for a lot of it, it's just what's more comfortable for you. But at the end of the day, as long as you're doing some type of squat, whether it's front squat, low bar, high bar, it doesn't really matter, just as long as you have some type of squat in your programming. All right, Mac_Wong Motivation asks, have you ever had any injuries in the last 6 years and how did you train around it? I actually already answered this question in yesterday's video, so just look up the Q&A part 2, but I will leave a link down below that kind of goes over injury prevention, how you can help prevent injury, because I don't think I did that in yesterday's video. All right, JConnor17 asks, what is the best advice you can give a person who is skinny fat? What do you recommend for them to bulk first or cut first? What do you recommend for that person to do? All right, so first of all, it kind of depends on their specific situation. Obviously, I'm all about keeping it specific, but if you're brand new to lifting and you're skinny fat, so you're relatively skinny, but you just have a little bit of pudge on you, I would recommend for that person to kind of stay around their maintenance level calories, so don't bulk or cut, and just focus on getting stronger in the gym. Because since you're brand new to lifting, you're gonna be able to do what's called a body recomposition, which means whether you're in a slight deficit, slight surplus, or stay right around maintenance, like I'm suggesting, you're going to be able to build muscle and burn fat at the same time. It's one of those rare occasions where you can actually do that. So that's the first thing I would recommend to somebody who's in that situation. But if you're someone where maybe that's on vacation, not brand new to lifting, you got thrown off with your diet or something, you just at this point where you're skinny fat, I'm going to recommend that person cuts first, simply because when you're lean, you're going to be at the best possible point physiologically for building muscle mass. So it's better to be as lean as you can be and then try to build muscle mass. Plus, if you bulk first, you'll put more muscle mass on, but you're probably just going to get more fat as well. And then it kind of just makes the process of cutting more of a pain. But if you just start where you cut from that point first, get as lean as you possibly can be, and then gradually bulk, do a lean bulk to where you can build up some muscle mass, but with the most minimum amount of fat possible, that's probably going to be better for you in the long run. And it's just a lot easier on people mentally. All right. Akune_Matata asks, what motivated you to start powerlifting? So basically, as long as I've been working out, even back when I was only doing bodyweight exercises, my goal and focus has always been to get stronger. That's kind of always been my thing. Getting stronger was the goal, being able to do more reps, and when I started lifting weights, being able to move as much weight as I can. And that's kind of always been my focus, is just being stronger, more powerful, focus more on the explosive athletic side of weightlifting. That's kind of always been how I was focused anyway. I've never really cared much about bodybuilding or aesthetics or anything like that. That kind of came more later on as I kept lifting for years and years. But what kind of motivated me with powerlifting was pretty much the fact that I was in college. It was my last year or two, and pretty much I've just been working, grinding in class, grinding at work, and I just wanted to be a part of something, So when there was a powerlifting team finally got started at where I was going to college, University of North Texas, I pretty much just hopped on that just to be a part of something that was more fun, not so focused on stress. And it just was right up my alley because, hey, I want to get stronger. Powerlifting's all about getting stronger, lifting as much weight as possible. So it kind of just worked out that way. It wasn't so much that I just had this burning sensation to do it. It just kind of worked out that way. It was convenient for me, but now I absolutely love it. All right. Elliot Leonard 4999 asks, what is your favorite workout split? Do you prefer push-pull legs, bro split, or full body? All right, so anybody who's been watching my videos long enough already knows what I think about bro split. I think they're trash. I think the only reason anyone should ever be doing it is if it's the only way that you enjoy lifting. It's the only reason you're gonna go to the gym is because, oh, I just love bro splits so much. If I don't do bro splits, I probably won't work out. That's the only reason I think someone should be doing a bro split. Scientifically speaking, it's just not an optimum way to train. As far as push-pull legs and full body, that's hard. So for most of my years lifting, I've always trained full body, except for like half of last year, I was doing push-pull legs, and I definitely enjoy both. I know that scientifically speaking, full body is probably gonna give me a little bit more bang for my buck just due to protein synthesis and the frequency of it. But because I enjoy being in the gym 6 days out of the week versus 3 or 4, I'd probably have to say that I enjoy push-pull legs more, but I definitely like both of them. All right, Samalo, I think that's how you say that, asks, how long did it take you to go from 2 plates to 3 on bench? All right, so let's see. I was benching 2 plates my senior in high school, so 2012, and I think I hit 3 plates on bench either in 2013 or 2014, so a year or 2. I can't quite remember exactly, but I know it was no more than 2 years, but no less than 1 year. Logan Skinuit asks, I'm doing 5x5 with 225 on squats right now. How do I work my way to getting 3 plates as soon as possible? Thanks. Man, that's a very loaded question in the sense that there's lots of different ways you can go about it. What I will say is whenever you're trying to increase on any movement, whether it's squat or anything else, is you want to focus on frequency. So you want to be squatting at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 times a week. You want to put a focus on progressive overload and mechanical tension. So making sure that you have a set structure of sets and reps every time you hit, all the reps you're going for on every set. Make sure you're bumping that weight up, and maybe having some days that are focused on like higher reps, like, maybe 3 sets of 8, 3 sets of 10, something like that. And then have some days that are focused on just moving the most weight for the fewest reps possible. So 5 sets of 3, for example. That's one thing that you can do to move a little bit more weight and progress a little bit more quickly. Instead of 5 sets of 5, you can start doing 5 sets of 3. But yeah, it's kind of a loaded question. I have different videos over like how to increase on different lifts, so you can check those out. Abu Dara, this is his second question apparently, is what's the quickest and most effective way to improve grip strength? Doing things that work your grip, man. Deadlifts, rows, pull-ups, any type of heavy pull, rowing motion, deadlift, anything where you're having to use your grip strength is gonna increase your grip strength. Like if you look at people who have like the biggest forearms, some of the strongest grips ever, it's pretty much like people who are doing like a lot of like maintenance work, construction work. They're always lifting things, picking things up, and just having to hold on to things. So that's gonna be the best thing you can do for your grip strength. Jacob_Montes05 asks, V squat or hack squat? Hack squat. If you guys don't know the difference, then just look it up. But hack squat, just because it's gonna allow you to get better depth and a fuller range of motion versus the V squat, which kind of only lets you get to about parallel. And those are 2 squat machines, guys. It's not a variation of like the freeway squat. Those are just 2 squat machines. All right. Louis G_fit asks if you could choose 1 drink and 1 cheat meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? Man, 1 drink and 1 cheat meal? That's hard, man. I mean, I don't have a very restricted diet. I follow, if it fits your macros, and I just fit things into my calories, so I can eat pretty freely. But I guess 1 cheat meal and 1 drink. I mean, I pretty much really only drink I like drinking water, and I like sweet tea, things like that. I'm not crazy big on different sodas, stuff like that. So I guess sweet tea and then the meal. I don't know, man, that's tough. Probably something, it has to have like steaks. There has to be a steak in there somewhere, but I'm not quite sure, man. That's a hard question. I have to think about that. I don't quite have time. I'm trying to get through this video quickly. All right. CJ Bayro asks, is Logic the greatest of all time? No, man, I would not say Logic is the greatest of all time. If I had to say who's like the greatest of all time as far as just like impact, cultural influence, or anything like that, probably Tupac. If I had to say who's like just the best, like as far as like lyrical skill, execution, like the skill of rapping itself, that's probably gonna be Eminem. A lot of people don't like that answer, but I gotta give that to him. Bargo Ryan asks, if you could go back when you started lifting and give yourself 1 piece of advice, what would it be? Eat a lot. Because as far as when I first started lifting and with my training, I was pretty good with, proper form, having structured sets and reps, progressively overload, moving weight. My only advice would be to just eat more, just to focus on growing. That would be pretty much like my biggest things. I ate a lot, but I feel like I really could have just eaten more and really taken advantage of building more muscle mass during my beginner phases. John_Asagiri asks, how do you plan to set yourself apart from other fitness channels and make yourself unique? I don't. That's not one of my goals. My goal isn't so much to set myself apart or to try to be unique, because if you guys have seen my Social Wellbeing Sunday video where I talked about don't try to be different, it's pretty much there's three types of people. There's people who try to be like someone else, which I don't think is good. There's people who look at what other people are doing and purposely try to be different from those people. I don't think that's good either. It's just the opposite extreme. Then there's people who are just themselves. That's what my plan is to just be myself and to just continue to put out valid information, beneficial content, because I know that's going to help people. And that's all I have to do. Like, if you're yourself, then you're already unique. You're already set apart from everybody else, because there is nobody else in the world like you. Like, yeah, you may have similarities to some people, you may be different from some people. At the end of the day, I'm just gonna be myself. So that's pretty much what I'm doing to set myself apart. But I'm not even thinking about that when I do my videos. My thought is, okay, what's the best way I can get this information out to the people in a way that's simple, specific, scientific. So I guess that's my uniqueness. All right. And Dennis the Menace _ asks, regarding your video about the stages of levels of lifting, should a beginner or a lifter focus on being in a caloric surplus for as long as they're making quick progress? Yeah, so a little while back, guys, I did a video basically explaining what the real difference is between beginner, intermediate, and advanced lifters. I'll link that down below as well. But basically what he's asking, it looks like, is that if you're in your beginner phases, should you just be focused on being a caloric surplus and building up? And once again, it's going to depend, guys. If you're someone who's extremely obese or overweight, your first goal, first and foremost, should be to get at a healthy body fat percentage. You don't have to try to necessarily get, shredded, but your goal should be to get to a healthy body fat percentage. But, in the case of you're someone, let's say you're a pretty skinny dude, or you're like say you're skinny fat and you don't have that much fat to lose, where you're going to kind of body recomposition anyway, I would say yes. I think beginners need to focus on just building that base of strength, building as much muscle as they possibly can. Because too many beginners, they just focus on, they just want to be aesthetic, they just want to be shredded, they want to do a bunch of hypertrophy work. But when you're a beginner, you need to just be focusing on building that base, getting stronger, eating, building as much muscle mass as possible by being in a caloric surplus. And at the end of the day, guys, that's going to help you with your aesthetics in the long run anyway. Like, you have to understand there's like I've said this in several videos, there's too strong of a correlation with strength and muscle mass, especially in beginner level lifters. Like, the stronger you get, the bigger your muscles are going to get. The bigger your muscles are going to get, the stronger you're going to get. They go hand in hand. So yeah, that's definitely what I would recommend. Assuming you're not in some weird specific situation where you're either really overweight, really obese, or skinny fat, whatever. You're just just starting, and your question is, hey, should I just focus on just building? Yes, build for your first. Honestly, I'd say your first year to 3 years, just focus on building. But that's just my personal preference. All right, guys, I think that's gonna about do it for today. I think that's all the questions I'm gonna go through. So, if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment down below. Let me know that you did. If you did not enjoy the video, leave a comment down below. Let me know what I can do to get it better. Like the video, share, subscribe. Keep it simple, specific, scientific. I'll catch y'all later.
I am the greatest.
Someone look color! Someone look color! Someone with dash!